Welcome back, Insanely Awesome Musicians. In this video, I want to talk to you about doing a blog. Now, a lot of musicians probably have never thought about this, and you might even be thinking, like, well, why is this, guy telling me to start a blog? Again, the concept of online marketing is again, it's growing an audience. That's really it. Once you have an audience, you kind of are in the driver's seat. Again, think of Oprah Winfrey is a perfect example of basically she grew an audience that knows and trusts her, and she can sell them pretty much anything from Oprah's book club to wine to other products. I mean, she's in the driver's seat basically. So I want you to be in that driver's seat as well. And one of the ways to do that is start a blog. Essentially, the only real reason to have a blog is again to grow an audience, and then once you have that audience that knows, likes, and trusts you, then you can start monetizing it and selling them things, which in your case should be your music, should be your merchandise, should be any other products or services that you have. And we talk about that in another module here, is how to exactly monetize this. But a blog is, again, a great way to drive traffic to your online universe and, again, monetize it like we've talked about. Now with a blog, there's different ways to approach it. You can certainly, what I call, have a blog that's like directly related to what you're doing. So if you're a musician, that would be directly related to music and kind of what's going on with the local music scene, or whatever, just something really directly related to music. I know in Washington, D.C., we have an individual who's been doing it for like 10 years. He's actually in the acting community, and he just started a blog and kind of a listserv just saying, like, hey, these are for opportunities for other actors, and this thing grew and grew over time, and now he kind of controls this, and that's really where all the local actors go. They don't even really go through the casting agents anymore. They just kind of go to this website, they see if any jobs kind of fit their profile, and then boom, they that's how a business is conducted. And the person who started this now is in the driver's seat because they can control a lot of things. They can monetize off of this. For example, if he wants to sell a course on acting, or someone wants to do that, they come to him. He's got all the actors that are paying attention to him, and now he can charge that person to do that. So that's kind of where I want you to be. I want you to be in the driver's seat as far as having that audience. Now, what you do with that audience is up to you. So again, your blog can be something very directly related to music. It could be like a step or two away. Perfect example is my daughter has a makeup blog. So again, she's a musician, but makeup, her fans are they're into music. They tend to be female, so they're really into makeup. So it's not like 100 miles away from her primary thing, but it's a few steps away. But again, a perfect overlap that the audience who's interested in makeup is going to be interested in music. Her audience that's interested in music is going to be in makeup. So something that works really well. And the other thing I would say is that you can have something that's completely different. If you have a completely different hobby or interest or a passion, make a blog around that. And again, the central theme is you as an individual is what you want people to get to know. So again, an example would be, let's say, a food and wine blog. If you're really into food and you go out a lot and you're really into maybe wine as well, make a blog around that. And now you're building an audience way over here, but because they have a personal relationship with you, it's a very easy transition to say, oh, by the way, I'm also a musician, or they should already know that about you. You're a musician who has this blog. And then feeding them, I guess using the food analogy, feeding them your music would be very easy. They're going to be naturally inclined to buy from you. So again, going back to the Oprah Winfrey example, people are very inclined to buy from Oprah. They know her, they trust her, they love her. And it's very important for her to make sure that she doesn't introduce them to anything that is that doesn't meet the expectations of her audience or the way she's sold it to them. But as long as she does that, they're gonna buy. They're pretty much gonna buy. So similarly, when you've created these audiences and you're the central link here, they're gonna buy from you. So a blog, while it's a little bit outside the box of a way to grow your audience and bring people into your online universe, is something I would highly recommend. It's something that can be set up, relatively easily. Within like a day, you can actually set up a blog. There's plenty of templates out there. What I would recommend is just use the modeling technique, where find a successful blogger that you say, wow, this person's done a really great job. They've grown a big audience. Pretty much use the same template of their blog. A lot of these are just WordPress templates that you can just have a developer put together very quickly for you, or put together yourself very quickly. And then once you've got the blog, you just need to start adding content. What I recommend is usually posting twice a week. You can post every day if you want. You can post once a week. I mean, you could post even less frequently, but if you're really going to do this, I would say at least once a week. And now you've got content going out there. You're building an audience around this content, and then that audience can easily, very, very easily translate to your music, whether it's completely, unrelated to music, kind of somewhere in between, or directly somehow related to the world of music. So. Another perfect example is a guitar player. If you're a guitar player in a band, do a blog, something around guitars, if that's really a huge interest of yours. The important thing is that this blog, it really has to be something that you're passionate about, that you have an interest in, because if you don't, this is a long-term proposition, and if you just do it for a month or two and you get kind of bored and tired of it, it's not going to really monetize, or it's not going to really do you any good. So it's something that you really have to have a passion around. So again, I would highly recommend that you start a blog, build an audience around that, use that as your music audience as well. But I also certainly understand this is not for everybody, and this is something that may or may not suit you, but it's something to certainly consider. And again, I would highly recommend implementing.